Hello there, survivors, and welcome back to ARK Survival Ascended, and hopefully the stream is working and being normal. I think I fixed it, but please let me know if you can hear me, and you should see my in-game now, right now. Here we are. Actually, maybe we should check what time it is, and oh, that's a decent time. That's fine. Seems normal. Finally, we can start a stream normally. I'm not quite sure what has been going on for the past few streams, but yeah, here we go. We're back at the Green Island. It's been a while since we were here. Actually, I think the last time I was here, I wasn't even on my own channel. I mean, last time Lance built this beautiful Dodo temple, which actually is not Dodo temple at all. It's something much more vulgar. Dirty Lance. Only he would build such a thing. But yeah, I've done a little bit of work on like the main street, connecting that up to the villa, kind of as a guideline for the yeah, for the town, because it's time to start building the town. We do have this little starter base here, of course. We have the warehouse, we have the docks, but it's time to add some more buildings because we've been calling it a town, but there's barely any buildings in the town, so it's time to change that. So I've got a lot of plans to build. We'll see how far we can get, but I'm excited. It looks quite cool now with the street in the background going all the way through the center here of the island. That is pretty cool. Stream broke every time you didn't stream ARK. That might just be it. Like, I might not be allowed to stream anything else because that is pretty crazy. But yeah, there we go. The very Greek shark is back. Back for more building. So yeah, let's get in to some things. Let's first take a little look at what we had, because it's been a while, right? It's been a little bit since we've been here. So we have the little dock area, of course, with our beautiful ships. We have a small little temple using the Roman custom cosmetics, which is quite cool. We have all these little shrines here welcome you in to the actual town. And we now have the Castle Craft deco mod, so we might actually be able to start doing more decor as well. And Astraeos skins are actually getting their own skins for like crafting stations, which is going to be pretty cool. We have the warehouse, we have the little starter base that I made for the official DLC launch. We have, of course, the nice entry here into the town. There's a bunch of rocks poking through. I think they might have respawned because I'm pretty sure they didn't used to be here. And then we have this new street that I worked on. As you can see, we've got banners galore here. We have banners everywhere, and I'll show you in a little bit how I've done this. But yeah, this has been crazy. Do you know what's your all-time peak view during? Yesterday was crazy when we streamed the new RuneScape survival game. I think the peak, I looked it up, it was 283, which is pretty insane. Yeah, that was pretty insane. Also, why is some of these statues are still tiny? Come on. Oh, now they're bigger. I guess we want them that big. There we go. Anyway, yeah, I've made the little street to kind of have a guideline for where the building should go. I've actually connected up some of the roads already as well, so we've got a little pathway leading into the Aras temple here of this guy. Look at him, he's passed out underneath his own arse. That's kind of embarrassing, you know. But yeah, lots of asses, and of course, Wilma Fingerdo is going on here as well. And then this path actually leads back to the little trading outpost there. I've also added in the roads here to the stables and the villa side entrance, so it's starting to feel a little bit more connected. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, we have these lovely new banners additions from the Roman cosmetic. I think I like that quite a lot, and I've showcased here how I've done it. So I'm using ASR glass, which you can turn invisible pretty much. And then we have, of course, the trophies against it. You turn those into the banners, and then you can make them invisible, and it looks really cool. These are the paths from JVH's garden, yeah, which is quite a nice mod. It's just quite a big mod, which is why we don't have it on the cluster yet. Although I think I saw someone sharing some new paths, so I might have to check that out soon. But hello there, everyone. Welcome in. We're going to be doing some building today. So yeah, for these, it's quite easy. If you have ASR, you kind of have these glass settings, which what you can do is you can go into your settings, basically get these both all the way down, and now it's invisible glass, so you can't see it anymore. And then of course with the gun, what you can do is you can go to the glass mode, you can select the glass setting, and then you can just copy and paste it over to other glass. And that's how we make floating trophy signs. And then if we bring out our cosmetic from here, we can take out the banners, and we can just change them into the banners, and there we go. So these are gaps of 3 for these banners, and then these are gaps of 5. The only downside here is that it kind of looks like there should be something here in between. So I'm thinking I might actually have to change that one around to be like a pillar instead. I feel like if we have like a thin pillar, maybe that might be more appropriate. But then of course we'll have to line it up again, so and now I need to delete the glass that I can't see. So let's try if we can get it to line up with these. Let me get the cosmetic, because that's the only downside, of course, that it's not connecting to anything right now, which would be make a little bit more sense if it does. So yeah, this I guess would be kind of the middle. I mean, that already kind of works. So So that's kind of all we need. So maybe we actually do it this way for these. And that means you can do it unofficial as well. You don't need the SR mod. But then at least it will connect to the pillars in the middle. Because otherwise it doesn't really make sense why it's going back up. And then I think what I'll do in between is I'll probably go for the Frontier skin. I think because we've used that a little bit in the town already. There we go. So yeah, I think if we make those wooden... Yeah, that's way better, isn't it? Okay, so that means we'll have to do this for all of those. There we go. Deleting invisible glass. Okay, so yeah, I guess we'll fix those because that makes a little bit more sense. And I guess you could probably do something similar for these. So if you don't have ASR, you could just go with these small pillars instead, I suppose. Although now the nice thing is going to be that they're going to have slight height differences because these are going to be lower than the ones going over the street, which is quite cool as well. So yeah, I think that is all the pillars we need. So let's add in the skins for these. So yeah, I've got a list of buildings that I want to add to the town, and we'll just start building some of them, and we'll see how far we can get today. I figured it has been a while since we last worked on this project. We've been very caught up, of course, with the medieval village. The CKF mod has been an absolute banger, and yeah, I've been really doing that a lot. But I've got so many videos and so many builds already for that, so I figured I might as well do this week and catch up with editing all the medieval builds for a little bit. There we go. So yeah, I would always suggest doing these first before you change the skins, because it's easier to line them up with each other so that they kind of make sense. I guess you would only technically need to do it on one side, but I kind of like doubling it up. So there we go. We can add them in. Lovely. Awesome. There we go. Yeah, that's actually a really cool addition. Of course, it's got to rain. No rain, please. There we go. Lovely street now with the banners hanging over the street. So yeah, this is going to be the main street, and of course we still have some work to do here as well, because we want to paint these in the filth color in every region. There we go. And then we can do the batch mode as well. Bam, we're done. Gotta love that. Gotta love that. So yeah, now we have a little gardens in the middle that we can add plants in and everything to kind of bring some extra life to the town, you know, add in a little bit of fresh green into the streets and into the towns. Especially once we start adding in the buildings. And yeah, we got a little list of buildings that we could do. I'm gonna pick myself, but I will tell you what I have. Hello there, Ellie. Welcome in. So we definitely still want to build a lighthouse at some point for this town. That would make a lot of sense. We still need to build the tavern. We already have the Ars Temple, but we need a dodo ass and grill, of course. But then Greek. We want an apothecary as well. We want a blacksmith, a fletcher, and maybe another different type of kind of warehouse, storehouse, I think would make sense as well. And then some decorative things in between, of course, always. But we definitely need some buildings in the town to actually make it into a town, which is what we're gonna start with. Not actually sure which building I would like to do first. I guess the apothecary would be quite nice to build. I don't know. I don't know. Let's see, actually. Blacksmith. Yeah, but blacksmith, I don't know if I want a blacksmith at the main road. So basically what's going on is the tavern is obviously going to be Lance themed. The apothecary is going to be scroll themed. And the fletcher is going to be shadow themed. For scroll, we have the scroll skin for the Jerboa, which is absolutely awesome, by the way. If you want a super duper cute squirrel, get yourself a Jerboa and download the custom cosmetic, because they are adorable. And I am in fact bigger than this guy. It's not by much. But oh my god, the tail's almost as big as mine. That's yeah, that's a big guy. Look at us. Look at us. This is me and Squirrel and Shrouded, just hanging out. So yeah, basically what I'm thinking is that the tavern is gonna have to go here, because obviously that's the Dodo, the Ars temple, so the Dodo Ass and Grill needs to be kind of here somewhere. Which means the other buildings are gonna go pretty much in between these, so in between where those buildings are and here. So let's see. I guess we could do the blacksmith. Yeah, why not? The Fletcher or the blacksmith? Let's start with the Fletcher then, because that is shadow, so that would be nice. And I think we're going to build that into this corner. But probably we actually want a little bit of distance between us and the build. So what I'll do is we'll get some foundations. We'll get some other stone things that we might need. What the heck is this? Hitching post? We don't need that, I don't think. Do we need cellar doors? Probably not. Probably not. But yeah, the apothecary I definitely also want to build. But let's start with the Fletcher, I guess. Would the Fletcher be quite dangerous right next to the road? I guess it would be. But it's fine. You don't have folder view on? I know, I embrace the chaos. So what if we have a little section of green before we just start building the blacksmith and everything? I feel like that would be nice. Okay. I think I'm just gonna make this shape and... Ooh, we don't have a lot of space, do we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 5. So yeah, definitely not. But I guess this way we can go actually longer. So it's just that this way needs to be slightly shorter, which I think is fine. Right, because we could still connect a pathway in here. We definitely could. For example, like in here could be a path. If we wanted to. Well, I guess that really depends on what the shape of the build is going to be. So for now, let's keep our green barrier and kind of take it as we go. So the Fletcher is gonna have like a main building. How big do we want the Fletcher to be? I don't think we want them too big. I think maybe just like this. Would that be enough? No, we want it a little bit bigger, right? Okay, maybe we do want to start here. There we go. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, oh, 6 maybe. There we go. And then I guess we would have a smaller addition here to the side, which... could we actually expand in here? I guess we can do a little bit. There we go. Would that be big enough? Maybe. I guess this would actually already work, right? Can't really make a corner, I guess. No. I guess we'll just have this as a little entrance to like the work space. Yeah, and then we could have the pillar here, and that would already connect back up to the whole structure. Yeah, I think that's fine. Probably want to have this at least 2 tall. So this is going to be like a little side building. Then we have the main building, and then this goes back off into this street, which works for me. I guess we don't really need this part, which destroys all my pillars again. That's fine. We're gonna have to check the pillars anyway before we build them, because sometimes the orientation with the skins don't go well. So I think the side building is gonna be a little bit more out of wood. So I think we'll go for the wooden beams here and pillars. So we'll have that going on. And then probably what we want is this. Actually, we also need a door. There we go. Let's see. Probably need this. Quarters is always nice. Definitely need these. Okay, so the real question is, how are we gonna make like a little roof on top of this? Because we do not want... I guess we're not really gonna expand this any further than this, because... So maybe that. I think this is what I want here. And we're not really going to do an overhang there, because then it would get too big. Or it would have to be this small. But I feel like this makes more sense, so we'll stick with this. The only downside is, I guess, that we can't really do an overhang then, because otherwise the overhang needs to be a full ceiling, and I think that's a little bit much. We need to keep it even. Yeah, I guess so be it. We don't have to have it. So then we would just have these. And I guess the roofs would be like that. And I guess if we want to have an overhang on the front, we could only do that with overlapping. So we would add in this little layer. There we go. Just like that. Is that what we want? It's a bit tall, isn't it? Maybe we could actually go for the smaller design. Because what would that look like? That would look like this. So that would look like this, and then the pillar would be here. Yeah, this might actually be better, to be honest. Like a little bit smaller. And then we could have the little overhang on the side. Yeah, that's still fine. And we can go all the way to the other side. That's perfect. Yeah, this might be nicer. Because then we do have the little overhang on both sides. And this is kind of a side shed. So I feel like this makes more sense anyway. And then we can still have these. That should be a little bit easier now. And these here as well. There we go. Yeah, that's a little bit nicer. And do we still want to have this going on? Maybe we do. Actually, maybe we kind of just expand this area a bit. Especially now. There we go. I think that makes a little bit more sense, right? Because then you could have these going on. Yeah, we probably would want to close in the garden too. I guess the question is whether or not we want to have an entrance here. So for now, I guess let's not go too crazy with the railings just yet. Hello there, welcome in, welcome in. Have you seen the new Dwarven Glass skins looks like? I haven't really tried it yet. I don't know if it's already on here. Maybe not. No, it's only the old skins. I think I downloaded it, but my server has been weird sometimes by not receiving updates. So who knows? Yeah, there's now a new builders mod, or Dwarven build mod. There's like a cosmetic version now with new skins, which won't be added to the building mod. But at least the old mod is not going to get deleted, so your builds are safe. Because obviously that would actually delete them, whereas the Astraeos one, it was just skins. Okay, we definitely want to have these in here as well as a little bit of extra supports. I think that's a nice addition. And then I mean, we're definitely gonna have to have these here, right? We're gonna have to have these details from CKF. I guess this would be here. Or maybe instead it makes more sense to do that back there. So we have different target options here. Yeah, the castle is on for now. There we go. This is the main reason also why I wanted the fletcher. Can show off all these cool things. I mean, there's much more things to decorate with probably, but that's a good start. Okay, let's start adding some of the cosmetics so we can get a little bit of an idea of what this is gonna look like. I guess the first thing is that one right there. And over here, and I guess, yeah, we might as well, you know, have fancy details. Why not? There we go. And of course, very important, we want these. It's not very safe. This is definitely big enough to let an arrow through, but hey, that's all right. There we go. That instantly transforms the place. Let's get these in here. There we go. Awesome. It might be a servers, you know, secretly shot someone. This is gonna be Shadow's business anyway, so it might be a little bit shady here. There we go. Let's see. So I don't think it makes a lot of sense to have a pathway here. So I think we're just gonna have this continue all the way as like a nice little added garden that's gonna be right against the building, bringing that greenery into the town. That's totally fine. And I guess we don't actually need to make this super tall, which is quite nice too. So that is going to be very helpful. I guess we can make these, or actually we might want to keep a more wooden look for this again, right? Feels like a little bit of a not cheap build, but I kind of like that touch. All right, let's bring out the first variant of these. Any idea when the Easter? Well, I mean, it's ARK. It could start anytime, but yeah, literally, I think it can start dropping anytime from now. Sometimes they've released it around this time, but yeah, it could also be a few hours from now, because I think we're probably gonna get a game update when they do drop it, because the last few events they've been adding the items to the main game right away, so that would require a main update. There we go. That's quite nice. So then I guess the main thing is going to be what is the building gonna look like? I mean, I would want to have the door there, but I feel like the door here would make a lot more sense. But we might get an extra Club ARK game that we can try out. Who knows? Or it's just the Easter eggs. I kind of hope that I actually add a game, but not just the Easter egg challenge. There we go. Let's give me the sun back. All right, so we need to figure out this build. I think we probably would like some windows here. I guess on this side, I'm mostly just gonna go for the full walls. And then I might add some windows there and there. And we could add a shady extra door here. Why not? Just in case you need to escape after you've accidentally shot someone. There we go. Perfect. So yeah, so I feel like this could actually also be quite easy, because I mean, we might want a window here, but for most of these I think we'll have a window there, maybe here, definitely not there anymore. So that kind of already fills in those walls too. And then we can have these. We can have all the windows actually be in there. Perfect. Oh. We would like a window in there. There we go. So yeah, I think we're gonna go pretty basic with that. I think that works. Because it's basically just a little shoppy. Bows and stands. Yeah, that would be nice to decorate with. So I guess... I don't know, I mean, it would be kind of nice to have windows here, I suppose. Oh. Well, no, not those. And the windows. There we go. Yeah, so that's off to a decent start. And then I guess, yeah, you would want to have these at the sides. All the way through. Just like that. And then I guess we can start the roof. Just with these. Fill in one layer of this. And then... there we go. That is going to be a roof. It's always funny. It's been a while since I made these little mountain roofs. Never gets old. There we go. Just like that. And then I guess, yeah, the roof is going to be quite simple, isn't it? It's going to give us a nice first building to turn this place in an actual town. We're going to need a few of these. But it's good now that we have a main road and that we're starting to fill in both sides of it. I think it's going to quite quickly transform into something that feels like a town. There we go. Awesome. And we'll grab the right skins. There we go. That looks quite good, I think. Just a nice, simple little home. Filling in the roofs. Awesome. And then we want the other variant. Since you're building, was there a sketch? I am very happy to tell you that there were many sketches for this town. Many sketches were made. Oh, I've got these. So yeah, I made a lot of. Basically made a sketch for all the buildings that I just named. So the lighthouse, the tavern, the apothecary, some deco, a gateway, the fletcher, the blacksmith, and an extra like storehouse or warehouse. So many sketches, all the sketches to catch up with your asking of sketches. There we go. Yeah, I like that. Instantly feels more like a town now already. With a nice little building. It's very simple, but I think it's going to be very cozy here. Sketches plural, yeah, it's going to be an overload, I think. I don't know what would be a good place to stop this garden. We're almost there, not quite there. There we go. Awesome. And it's done. Yeah, so many sketches were made. Oh yeah, I could use a thatch ceiling, that's true. I mean, otherwise it just kind of looks overgrown, which is not a problem necessarily. There we go. Awesome. Oh, and we forgot a staircase. Did we? Yeah, we did do those. And I think this is the second variant that we use for the staircases usually. There we go. Yeah, that feels cozy. Nice little place. Although I do think that maybe these, we actually want to use the wood. I don't know. Just feels a little bit more appropriate. It's a nice contrast as well. Stands apart from like the main road and the gardens. We definitely want to add a little bit of greenery, I think. Do I already have the thing? Yes, I do. These have become my new favorite. I've been mostly just using... oh, did I not pick it up? Mostly just been using the vines to kind of just do all the things. Yeah, there's been multiple sketches. All right, there we go. Let's add in some green to this all. There we go. I mean, I feel like we could probably get away with the bigger one here. If there's going to be a garden around it. There we go. Don't want to overdo it, but I feel like a few of these are definitely a nice addition. Hello there, Crimson. Welcome in. How are you doing? There we go. That's going to be quite nice, especially once the greenery gets in. And I guess I wouldn't also mind too much getting a few of these on here. Yeah, since I've discovered that you can snap these so easily to roofs, it's definitely been my favorite little way to add some greenery to the roofs. Because I feel like you don't really run into the issue that you're going to clip into the building as much. There we go. Well, we're finally building in the town, because I haven't built in this town for so long. The last guy that built here was Lance, of course. So, yeah, it was about time to reclaim this. There we go. Nice and cozy little build. I love it. So we have our little Fletcher's work area. Do we have any arrow related things? I guess we do have so many barrels to pick from now. all the barrels. Bow? Is bow a thing? Oh! Yeah, I've got a scroll. This is the scroll skin for the boas. This is awesomely cute. Except when it shits. But yeah, they are amazing. They are really, really cool. And they have incredible animations. Look at them. They're so cute. No, actually, Chicken, he returned. Like, the body miraculously returned. That's how it's in the temple as a statue. But then, of course, he also returned to build the chicken temple. Or the ass temple. There we go. Alright, yeah, so we kind of need to figure out if those arrow things that you mentioned are in the thing already. I guess the weapon racks would be it. Oh, so much. I really need to start playing around with this. Because there seems to be a crazy amount of things. But this is probably what I want. And I'm guessing that I'm gonna need to put bows in there maybe. Oh, this is so cool that this actually works like this. Oh my god. Look at that. That is pretty incredible. Can I also just skip like... Oh no, it's gonna go... Okay, you do have to do it in order. That's cool though. That is so cool. Okay, well... We'll have one more here. And we'll have these in there. We can fill it up with some of the barrels. Because, oh my god, there's so many barrels. So many options for barrels nowadays. And these are the Western barrels. And then we have the tiny barrels from CKF. There we go. That's gonna give us a little bit of decor around, I guess. Like a small barrel. Very thin one. Look at all these barrels. So many barrels. There we go. You don't want to add too much because it's going to already kind of mess up the line of sight. More deaths. Let's keep scroll with us. Yeah, I think that's enough for now. What we might want to do is... We might want to add in a little bit like this. I like adding this in just to kind of make the ground feel a little bit more dirty or something. Just, you know, adding a little bit in there. Have you considered checking out the Eden map? I mean, there's so many maps that I would love to check out, but since I'm mostly just focused around building, yeah. And I feel like now it's too late to jump into a new map because hopefully Ragnarok will be out in June. But hey, we'll see. We'll see. And I've also just kind of been taking that time to just hop into some other games, which is quite fun sometimes. All right, there we go. We have a little Fletchers. Little archery range, Fletcher building. Nice little town building, which is a really cool addition, I think. I kind of think that we should have a building right opposite of it. And probably that should be the blacksmith. I feel like that would make sense. Although I do not know if I can fit that in the way that I designed it. Although there is more space there. So let's check out how much space there is and see if we could fit that in. Okay, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in total. Although these last ones, we probably want to make ceilings again, because otherwise they're going to overlap into each other. But yeah, that's going to be 3, 4, 5. And then basically we can go as far as we want, of course. There is a lot of crap in the way here, however. So we will need to clear some of these things out before we get to building. There we go. That's a start. I mean, we're probably going to have to get rid of all the plants and stuff. And then there we go. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is it right now? And it could be a little bit more over here if we wanted to. Which would be kind of cool because it creates another little street down here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, let's figure out what this building needs for my little tiny sketch that I made. Okay, so obviously we'll have one building. And could that building be like this? I mean, that makes kind of sense, I think. So that would be 4 by 4 basically. Although I might have to redo the pillars if I'm gonna make them into Astraeos ones, because the orientation might not be right, but we might keep them actually out of Frontier. So yeah, if we have this, then I guess the downside is that the entrance kind of needs to be here, which means we do not have a lot of space here, but we could have a little workshop place like that. I guess that would be big enough. There we go. Yeah, I think that's going to be big enough. And I guess that means that we want the entrance right here. Yeah, that does make the most sense, because then this one can be a little bit bigger. So I feel like this should be 5 maybe. And I kind of think we might remove these. Oh, There we go. Yeah, which also means we probably want to do these. Yeah, and then those we're gonna have to change to these ones so that we have some nice... Oh. Why is this one? That's that's definitely not the one that needs to be there. We'll need to fix that one. There we go. So yeah, the little garden can kind of go around it a little bit and add in some greenery, which is fine. There we go. And then we can just add a little ledge here. There we go. We can still add a pillar in, maybe. Maybe not actually, because we might want to have a forge or something in here. Although, I guess the cool forge... I mean, we could use the Klinger forge. I always like the Dwarven forge, but that is a little bit big. I mean, maybe we can make it work. Come on, there we go. Can we make it work? I mean, obviously it's going to poke through, but not necessarily in a bad way. There we go. Yeah, I think that's fine. Just a little shed around the giant forge. Okay, and then these ones, of course, should be from tier again. So yeah, that's just the forge shed, I guess. But that's fine. And then this building is basically gonna have a building here. Right. Which probably means that we want to have this area continue as like a little workshop, and then maybe we'll have another entrance here too, which makes sense. Kind of like into the different streets. Be quite cool. So we can, oh god, we can fill in the entire work space. There we go. And then I guess we would kind of want a little railing around these. There we go. Stairs there too. Yeah, that's gonna look quite nicely. Really like this little street that has formed now. So I'll probably bring back the little wooden railing here for contrast. That should be quite nice. And And then the beam, we probably just want to continue. There we go. So yeah, this will be like a little side building, and the main building will be in the corner, but we're gonna have like a little archway basically here too. So I think the best way to do that would be maybe like this. So that would turn into a nice arch, and that you can still pass underneath that quite easily. So I feel like that works. Actually, there we go. It definitely works. So yeah, that's gonna mean that this one needs to connect all the way down too. And these are all gonna be the frontier skins, because kind of like that contrast, especially with already so many of the fancy pillars around here. Let's see, probably want to connect it like that. We can actually also do these stairs here, and we can get all the way along the outside, changing those skins into the right ones. That should look quite nice. Getting our little workplace done, but yeah, I feel like that's gonna be nice. It's gonna have a little bit more space, but it makes sense. Blacksmith, quite important. A little bit of a bigger building, and then I guess we get to do the little side build here, which I guess maybe we do have one of the walls like this, so that we can have a little bit off-centered, I suppose. That should be quite nice. And then I guess the next layer would just be normal. There we go. Probably want some windows there. And then here I think we're gonna have the windows on this layer. And we'll change those skins. I guess these we kind of just want to have a normal wall. Nope. Yeah, that's starting to come together quite nicely. I guess the only downside is it's too wide. So it means it's kind of difficult to add a nice roof to this. Or I need to make it wider. I could make it wider, because I kind of do want to overhang for the roof, so just means that we need to expand this by a little bit. Thank you, Dave. Welcome in. So yeah, let's make that a normal wall. We can have that as a window. Normal wall. A row of normal walls here. Actually, this can be an entire normal wall as well. We'll have windows there. There we go. And we can add the windows back in. This is gonna be normal wall then. And we can start filling in some of these walls. Yeah, why not go for these windows one time? I guess, yeah, that door could work there. So yeah, this means that we can now have a little ledge of quarter ceilings on both sides, and then we can have a nice roof, and it does have a little bit of that overhang on the outside, which I always do prefer if we get that in there, because it just looks a little bit more natural. Come on. There we go. Just like that. And these ones can be the frontier skins. These ones as well. There we go. We're getting a little blacksmith. It is happening. Well, actually, this would be, I guess this would kind of be just a storage room. Also, this is the way too steep. That's not the roof we want for these buildings. There we go. Awesome. We'll fill these in all the way through. And a nice beam on top. There we go. That's starting to come together. Yeah, we definitely wanted the little overhang. I think that's definitely doing the building some good. It's always a fun process looking at these builds when they're like half skinned, because you kind of have to use the mind to fill in the blanks, but I do think this is gonna work, and it's gonna work quite well. I suppose we kind of also need that wall here actually, just to make sure that this is actually a full building. There we go. So yeah, let's get the other variant to finish these skins. There we go. And this side as well. Awesome. And then just the last one. And we'll have that other building done. There we go. Oh yeah, we need to also fill in those. But now that we have this skin, we can definitely fill in these. And maybe we should just already fill in the whole floor. I guess. Wait. There we go. I should have already filled in that skin as well, but for now let's focus on adding these floors in. I guess we can also add in the floor of the building. It's just gonna be the same thing. We definitely need to get rid of all the extra bushes that are here. go. Oh yeah, these doors don't really work if you don't open them yourself. Or do they? Oh, sometimes they do. Outdoor deco. No, I haven't used that yet. I kind of try to not make my mod list too crazy because of sometimes inviting people on and then they have to download so many things. I don't mind, but maybe they do. And once they're on and once they're used, they can't remove it, basically. But I might check it out. Okay, let's clear out this area a bit. There we go. Yeah, that's gonna be a lovely little area. The blacksmith and the fletcher together. This area together is gonna be really nice. All right, let's make sure that we also finish that other building, and we'll need a lot of the third variant, I think. Maybe that's all we need. Yeah, that is kind of all we need. You know what? We probably also want these. I think that makes a lot of sense, actually. Probably want them here as well. There we go. So yeah, we have the little side building now for the forge. We have the little storage building on the side. And then basically this is going to be the main entrance into the building. That's why we have the little archway here. Which I think kind of means that we do not have to have any kind of windows on this side, at least. There we go. And then definitely feel like should be a big entrance here. So maybe we have a gate entrance there. Could that fit? Just about. Just about. I guess we have to open it inside, because otherwise it will look kind of weird, I think. Alright, because yeah, that's gonna go into the roof, so always to the inside. Yeah, I kind of like the thatch texture though. Yeah, but I want the door to be in the middle. So, yeah, we can't really move it too much. But I think it's fine. As long as you open it inside, it works. Because then it kind of aligns perfectly. And realistically, I don't even know what you would use this for. I mean, I guess if you would use this as an ARK base, and you do not have the Dwarven mod, this is probably where you would have the Industrial Forge hidden. And this would be just so that you can bring the Anki in. Right? That's what I think. Alright, let's see. We probably want to have some windows here on the side. Do we also want to have the windows here? Maybe. Just get a bunch of those. Do we want any other walls? Maybe not, because if it's mostly going to be for the big forge inside, that's probably gonna be it, right? So that you have all the space in the world. it getting dark in this little corner? I feel like it's getting dark. We're in the shade. There we go. Look at the light. It's back. All right. So that means that we have a bunch of these little windows to potentially let in some light, but maybe not. Depending on where the light is coming from, I guess. And then we would have this layer kind of like that door. And we can have our main entrance going in. And all the way around. There we go. Yeah, and the doors should have been fixed. Yeah, the gates are fixed now that there's no little gap anymore, which is great. Makes it a lot easier to build with. Yeah, and I guess this would be the perfect place, you know, in vanilla settings especially, where you would be able to hide your big forge into your Greek town without people discovering it. There we go. It's only for the cosmetic version, of course, that it's fixed. I think I probably would use this skin because that fits in a little bit more at least. But of course, not everyone would have that. Really hope that he's gonna add a lot of skins. Actually, this is a 4x4 building, so we won't have an overlap unless we add a full ceiling in. I think we could probably get away with the full ceiling, to be honest. We have just about enough space, I think. Then we would have these on the corners. Oh yeah, you don't want to flip them. No, flipping is bad. There we go. There we go. We can make the roof not like, oh geez, everything is going great. There we go. It's the Amisa skin. It's pretty good. It's got a lot of these skins that are a little bit better suited for especially the Greek or all the builds, which is what I like. But I'm really hoping that because he's teased that he's adding Astraeos skins for a lot of the crafting structures, so hopefully those come out soon because that is going to be perfect. I guess what we kind of want to do instead is I'm going to start and end with these quarter ceilings so I can still overhang on the front. And I can just connect in between with the ceilings. There we go, and now it's raining. There we go. All right, let's see. So yeah, if we do it like this, we can have a nicer roof basically, because now what we can do is we can snap it in just by that half, which I always really like the look of. And we'll just do that all the way through. go. Fill all that in, and then we can add in a nice beam across the top. Actually, probably also want to have the beam just continue here. We might not see a lot of it, but we'll know it's there. There we go. Awesome. Yeah, I like this blacksmith building as well. That's turning out quite nice. Of course, we'll need to still add some of these skins in. Yeah, I still need to check out the Castlecraft skins at some point too. But of course with CKF, if you have actual mods, CKF kind of takes over a lot of that already. But for official builders, yeah, structure skins are of course the way to go. All right, we need some different ones. I don't think we'll need anything up on the side, but we do need the roof. Right, yeah, no, because we only need the third variant, I think, for those. And then we can get ourselves a pretty nice blacksmith building. Okay, it might be just quicker to focus here on this side. Yeah, there we go. That looks quite good. We can fill all of these in. There we go. Let's see. We can have probably a beam all the way across as well to make this look a little bit nicer, right? There we go. I really like that build. It's not too complicated, but I really like the way that looks. It would be quite a nice little base. My day is pretty good. Pretty good. I've been playing around with the drones today for work, so that's pretty fun. How's it working? If it's a multiplayer, one player uses the Greek skins and another uses the castle styles. Can you see both skins? Depends on your own settings. In your settings, you can basically... where is it? I think it's here. Like, if you disable them, they won't automatically download. But if you don't disable it, you'll just... It starts downloading the skins as soon as you see them for the first time. And then everyone will see them. Okay, so we need to add in a few of these beams in more places, I think, where they make sense. So yeah, that's the good thing about the skin, is that you can use them everywhere. But yeah, if pretty much for everyone except maybe for PlayStation players, you can keep them on automatic downloads because you'll have enough mod space. Only PlayStation players really need to worry about running out of space. Xbox can run out of space, but they'll have to run into a lot of skins. There we go. We got a blacksmith. Yeah, the mod space is that's I think one of the bigger issues right now. Especially since it's only PlayStation that's fallen behind now a lot. Alright, let's add in a little path, because we kind of already have the whole road here. There we go. We're actually getting a proper little town with roads and everything. It's amazing. I think we'll continue the road a little bit here because there's another entrance. So I think it makes sense to try and connect that. There we go. Yeah, just until there pretty much, because then it should connect up to this entrance here. There we go. That gives us a little pathway. Seems to be a little bit of a bigger gap in here. And we still have some plants. That's JVH gardening. So not the landscape mod, but the other one. Yeah, the PlayStation mod storage is quite annoying for servers. It's difficult that it's only like one platform now that is totally different from the rest. Because at first it was just like consoles had less, but now Xbox still has a pretty sizable advantage. There we go. I guess we also want to have that. Awesome. Yeah, that's starting to be a little bit of a town because we're not that far anymore from those builds. I probably don't want to have like a whole building here. Maybe we can make like a little decorative build, maybe. I don't know. I mean, it could be a small building maybe. But this little area is definitely looking quite nice now. Of course, there needs to be some details and some stuff going on, so maybe some Ankies and stuff loading things off, but yeah, just like this basically what we did here with the fletcher, we added a little bit of life, which did a lot, but definitely makes one side of the road already feel a lot more alive, especially of course once I add plants in the middle as well and to the sides. It's gonna be really nice. And you end up in the nice villa at the end and everything. And then we'll have more builds. The lighthouse. We still need the tavern, of course. The Dodo Ass and Grill. The Greek Dodo Ass and Grill. Yeah, a little guard post, a little hut, something like that. Something kind of to fill up that square, I think. And connect the roads there and there. There's already a little path there which can connect back to this, and we can have more buildings in this area. The tavern is going to be here, so I think the apothecary is probably going to be over here somewhere. It's probably what I'm going to do. All right, let's see if we can add in a few details, and actually think that some of these could actually be quite good as decorations, visual storage. Because first of all, you can of course get those ingots looking nice. Can we still go through? No. So yeah, I guess maybe we have 2 of those here. We might have a few of these. Oh, I want to have the correct ones. Maybe just like that, because then we can have a barrel and stuff here. There we go. And then of course we need to do like on for every one of these, so that actually looks like they have stuff in them. But I mean, we'll not do every one of them right now. I'll do these little ones in this area so that we get the idea. But yeah, we can see the ores, we can see the ingots. That's already quite a nice little addition. And I think maybe one of these cranes could be a good addition too. Maybe just like this. Yeah. And then of course we do like a little bit of hay on the ground. There we go. I mean, need more hay in the streets. Yeah, a little courtyard would be nice here as well. I don't want any decoration here, of course, because this is a workplace. It doesn't need to be nice. It needs to be lived in. I think we might actually have some cool signs as well. Right, because we have so many cool things. So many cool little decorations. So, I mean, I could actually just have the armor there, to be honest. That would definitely work. What other things do we have? We have the armor, the weapon. The weapon is pretty good too. There we go. That definitely works. Maybe I can have the armor here, because then we have it visible on pretty much every side. Although, I guess on this side, we might want to have it here. Because then we can, if you're walking into town, you can see that's armor. So it kind of gives you the clue. That might be where the blacksmith is. Yeah, I love these. That's so good. I guess there's not really one with just a bow. Is there? General store, scrolls, apothecary is there, potion, cooking pot, clothing, scissors. I guess the weapon is the best thing. Medieval weapon rag mod. I mean, the Castle Craft Deco mod already has a few of the weapon racks as well, which you can use, which is quite cool. Actually, speaking of, we probably should have a bunch of those around. We can have them for pikes, Let's see. We'll have pikes right here. Let me craft some pikes. And let's get the pikes in. Oh, they're on both sides, actually. Well, that is interesting. Because that means we kind of don't want to have it against something. So, let's say... place my pikes there. This is a lance. I could put lance here. Got some lance there. And I guess the swords... Is the swords gonna be one way? I think so. Alright, let's see. So we'll make a few of these. And some swords. And we'll add the swords in. Oh, just 3 swords. Looking cool. So the pikes we want in here. That's a pretty cool one. And then the lance. There we go. That is quite cool. I guess we can have another one for the swords, because they apparently have only 3. There we go. But yeah, that's definitely a cool little decoration to have around as well, especially to make the blacksmith stand out a little bit more. I guess we could also have some barrels around here. There we go. I mean, there's so many details. Actually, there's more training equipment. Is that just archery targets? Oh no, there's actually dummies as well. Yeah. I guess they actually do have arrows in them though. There we go. We probably want to have those ones. But we might add one of these little dudes here too. They're quite fun. Especially with the arrows sticking out. There we go. Is there any other good decoration that we should use for the outside specifically though? I mean, we're not gonna start a lamppost yet. Torture devices, well, maybe not. Maybe not. I mean, there's already a decent amount. What we can add for this build is also do a little bit of the greenery. We did it for the other build. So we might as well do it for this one too, right? There we go. A little bit of greenery here and there. Adding some life to the place. Okay, I'm stuck in the secret wall. Oh, we do have some windows that we still need to change. There we go. We can have some plants growing on the sides here. There we go. We'll do a little bit of greenery on here. Just a bit. Probably mostly around these areas. There we go. Because we don't want to go too crazy. Such detailed hay. Yeah. Okay, let's do some of these with some extra detail. Okay. Start with a few of these in some places. And then we'll start adding in the variations with the other two, but then we don't have to switch back and forth all the time. Okay, so we can use this one. There we go. All right, then we'll finish it up with the last few bits, just like that. There we go. All right, that will be it. We'll have a nice blacksmith next to the fletcher. Two new little additions to the town. That should look quite nice. Yeah, I love the vines. It's just such a nice way to add a little bit of green without overdoing it. There we go. That's awesome. All right, we do need to paint this. Wait, does it not remember my color? Okay, it does. There we go. All right, so that's a little bit of green, but yeah, that's definitely getting one side of the street feeling much more like a proper town than it was. Oh, that's actually quite cool. You know, now we can just walk around the town, enjoy the streets. We have a little blacksmith, little fletcher. So this is gonna be Shadow's little archery range. I need cool names. I need to come up with cool names so I can name them. Well, I guess I'll also need an actual place for the sign. but it's fine. We'll figure something out. But yeah, we have a cool place. The street back to the main road. To the villa. I love these little banners everywhere. The Lance edition. I mean, it's cool. It's gonna be a real town soon. Before we know it, it will actually be a town, which is incredible. Alright, let's add in the skins for these windows that we forgot. Because otherwise I will forget forever. And then I'm gonna do cinematics. And it's gonna still be there. There we go. Oh, I've got them here too. Yeah, that's looking really nice. Really, really nice. So it's funny that I brought my scroll jabot, but the one building that we don't have yet is the apothecary that I wanted to make for scroll, but I guess we'll do that soon. Oh no, that's too far. We're gonna be a little scroll on the roof. Well, I guess you'll sit over there. That's fine too. There we go. A little friend on the roof. Playing around. Yeah, I like this a lot. I like this a lot. I mean, there's some similarities, of course, between these two. This is a much smaller edition. This would actually be a good, like, early base. Like day one or something, you know. This is quite easily built. Especially since the materials don't matter with skins. And then this is a little bit bigger. I quite like the way that you can kind of hide away your forge area, because usually that's the most annoying thing to get room for, of course. And you can still have a little bit of storage to the sides, of course. You can have some storage in here. And then you have a lovely home for yourselves, I suppose. Yeah, we definitely need to do it at more places. I don't know why I didn't. I think I didn't do it because I was gonna do the decorations once I got the castle mod. So I feel like now slowly but surely we'll start to decorate more of the town and do it everywhere. And I need to add the plants anyway everywhere in the little green areas here around the main road. So probably what I'll do, I'll wait until I have the tavern and the apothecary at least, and then we'll start going crazy with adding details everywhere. Now, I kind of want to do one small build just before we end. I think maybe we can line that out with this street. Because yeah, basically we just want to have a little bit of a fun detail, right? That's kind of what this is meant to be. So let's see. Oh, we can make a little circle. I guess from there we can go out with these. I'm gonna have to get rid of this rock. Do not want to have that in the middle. So yeah, basically what I want to do is something a little bit like a circle or dome like this, but then a little bit smaller, because this one is quite big, of course. So we're basically going for a much smaller version and a dodo-less version. Just to kind of break the whole thing up. It's not really perfectly aligned with this, is it? I kind of feel like we should try to line it up. Well, not perfectly, because it's still a town. It's not for a small town. It's not that important, but at least a little bit. There we go. I think that probably is good enough. There we go. I guess the biggest thing is going to be the entrances. I guess we're going to have just 4 of those on each side. I think that makes the most sense. There we go. Awesome. You can add in the stairs. And actually, we can change those skins too, because then we get the fancy outside. There we go. That's a decent start. I guess the best way would be to have temporary walls, because that way you can kind of guarantee that the orientation of the pillars is going to be the exact way you want. I think I wanted this tall. There we go. Yeah, then this one is, I guess, a little bit awkward, because what do you pick for those? I guess maybe we'll let fate decide. And we'll see what those will be. There we go. Okay, so that should be the pillars all the way from the top to the bottom. So now these walls can go, because those won't be necessary. I guess we can add in a few of these railings in the corners that are not stairs. That feels alright. And then I guess we can start the roof. I guess only these two I can really add in now. And then we'll need the rest. So we got a Rex incoming! Hello there, Kepler! Thank you so much for becoming a member. Thank you so much for the support. Really appreciate it. There we go. Alright, let's... Yeah, we'll... Ooh, actually... Maybe we'll add... Oops. We'll add another little detail to the top, I was gonna say. But then it all broke. So I guess we'll have to go around a little bit slower like this. There we go. And we can add in those corners. Yeah, the huge dodo, yeah, that is Dino Depot. You can have the display cases. I mean, Lons made a tutorial about this build, so you can check that out. He did such a good job. It's my favorite video he's made, I think. Okay, it's easier to do from this side. Might be. if I was playing this. Yeah, I mean, that's usually how survival goes. Survival, it can be quite hectic. Actually, my town, even in creative, used to be swamped with creatures, but it feels like I finally have beaten the spawns in this place. And there's no longer chaos in my town. There we go. So that's going to be archers. Oh, actually, we can already make them into archers, which is going to look quite nice. There we go. And then, of course, we can turn these into the pillars. Actually, we kind of want to have them one more, right? Because the bottom one is going to be below this even. There we go. I think we also want to have these railings. Yeah, that looks quite nice. I mean, it's just a little detail, I think. But, I guess maybe to be safe, because sometimes these pillars just are in an orientation that you don't want. And it's annoying to find that out is when you're finishing the build, basically. There we go. Actually, you know what? Just to showcase that and to hopefully see that we've now fixed all of these. That's the good way. That's the good way. And then that's perfect. That's awesome. Those are good. I guess those are going to be random, but that's fine. That's actually probably the best way for those corners, because now they feel quite separate, which is good. I think we actually want to have these. So we'll flip those around. There we go. Just like that. Yeah, that's gonna... Oh. It's gonna look quite nice like this. I guess I changed the variants. We can do the roofs though, can we? Wait, is the roof not the third variant? Wait, this is the third variant. Oh no, that's not for roofs. This is the other steepness. It's so confusing sometimes. I guess we do need these. Yes, there we go. And then we can change these as well. I'm glad you do. There we go. All right. So then all we really need, of course, is to kind of add a nice ending on top of this. I wish we could make it a little bit more like a dome. This is all we really can. And that's just like a nice little like meeting point in the middle. I mean, it might actually be quite cool. I don't know how it's gonna look because we can't really make a platform for it. Like, it would be quite cool if we could have could I have a box up there for a statue. I guess maybe like this. I mean, it does look a little bit weird, but maybe if we just add some supports, we hardly will notice. There we go. All right, let's add in the last skin. So we want the first variant here at the bottom. There we go. Just like that. Yeah, and then the statue, I think I'm gonna go for a Roman statue. Feels like they have some nice ones that could be good here. Maybe this one. Like, it's not a perfect match. Feels like the statue needs to be a little bit to the right. But, yeah. Could be nice. There we go. Because from far away, you're not really gonna see. There's no platform there, but I do kind of like it as a viewpoint. There we go. You know, just as a little point of interest that you can see from a little bit further because it's a little bit taller than the buildings. Yeah, I think that works. And then we might want to add in some lights hanging here or something. And then maybe something in the middle. As well, I don't know. Let's see. So yeah, if we get this out here, we can have a little brazier if we can get this guy to help us. Hello guy, I need your help. I need to show my there we go. We can have a little fire shrine in the middle, and then maybe we'll add like some pots or decorations around it. I don't know. I don't know. I currently have too many projects as is, so I'm not planning a cave build at the moment, but never say never. Don't know where that is. Where is that? 36, 43. Is it on this map? Oh, that's the underwater cave, isn't it? There we go. Yeah, that's starting to be quite a nice little area, because now we can, of course, this road is going to continue and lead up to that pretty much. So yeah, that's just going to lead into this there, which is fine. And then from here, we can connect back up to there. We can continue that way to where the lighthouse at some point will be, probably. Yeah, that's a good one. Nice little addition, I would say. Okay, let's get some light back in here, because there is some weather going on that we do not want. Also, let's get the pyro main back. I'm probably going to be too heavy, so you're just going to be a little sleeping baby. There we go. But let's take a quick little look at what we've done today. So well, I added the main street before we started, of course, but we fixed the banners up, which look quite nice now. And we have a lovely main road to enjoy, which leads up to the main villa. We have the temple to one side, and now we have this little street going on, which is quite nice. We have that little decoration piece at the end of the road. We have the little fletcher here for the arrows being made, dedicated to Shadow, because he's a ranger usually, so that's why he gets the fletcher. And then we have a blacksmith here as well, which is it's quite cool. I'll probably play around with adding some more details, of course, decorating the place, doing the interiors maybe even. But yeah, those are two lovely little builds, I think. And then we have this little shrine as a nice little decorative piece, I guess, in the town. The Roman custom cosmetics are premium, so yeah, you do need to get that separate. But you could easily replace anything of the Roman one with the Astraeos one if you don't want to pay. The only downside is that you won't have any banners yet, unless the Astraeos adds that at some point, but currently there's none. So it is a very good one to combine with the Astraeos one. So if you're doing a whole base, it might be worth all the extra additions, because you get the banners, you get extra statues, you have the brazier skins like that one, but you also get these braziers, which are very nice. You get the standing brazier as well. Of course, you have the building skins themselves. You have like food props. There's a lot in the Roman custom cosmetics, so it's definitely a nice one. It has also some skins for some of the crafting stations. So actually, that's what we should do. We should totally add those in too. Let's see. I'm guessing that I might just use the main one. We want the forge, and we want the smithy, because I'm pretty sure there's Roman skins for these. There we go. So that's a Roman smithy, which is quite cool. And then we'll add a little Roman forge here as well. There we go. Those are quite nice as details too. Totally forgot about those. But yeah, there's quite a lot in them. And there we go. We got a lovely street. Quite happy with the additions. It's definitely finally starting to feel like a proper town here. You know, it's finally getting to be a little bit of a town. If we keep this up, we might actually get a town before Ragnarok launches, which is quite cool. All right, yeah, I think that's going to be it for today's stream. I hope you guys enjoyed. I really liked it. I'm very happy with what we've achieved today. This looks amazing. Little blacksmith and the fletcher and the little decorative addition here. yeah, this is transformed the town once more. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, of course, don't forget to leave a like on the stream. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I hope to see you again soon. We'll be diving it back into Enshrouded, continuing our adventure on Friday. So definitely check that out. It's a very fun game. Some very fun builds. I've got some cool builds as well. You can already check out the video of the first little hobbit base that I built there. So yeah, hopefully I'll see you then. And otherwise I'll see you in the next video or stream. For now, thank you for joining me and goodbye.